Word. And where did we share screen? And ta-da, let's see.
I can use my earphones.
Okay.
Advanced dementia
Okay, hang on. Let's see, guys.
using LifeWave.
Hang on. I have to.
The heck?
Every time
That
people come
means
in, we
could
got a
help
lot of
you.
mics that are hot, guys. So
Oh,
we have
Rich would
to,
like to come in. Mia, Rich, Mia. They would like to come in.
hang on. I'm having to mute all the new ones that just came in because everybody's got their
They want
microphone
Zoom,
on.
Rich.
Oh,
Kathleen,
Wants to
mute
come
your
in.
mic.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'll send it to him. Give me a second. Give me a
All right, we're
second.
gonna have Rich Finnegan. He wants to come in, but in the meantime, can people hear
Hang
me?
on. Yeah, they can hear you. They can hear you. You want them to see you?
Well,
Let's
I
go
don't-
ahead and
I'm
get
not-
a
I'm not
video
sure because
going.
we are,
Looky there, boy.
we had to be, the reason for all this lateness is because we are in my
Yeah.
son's
video's
play.
now.
Hey, don't blame me now because I'm the good looking guy and I don't never make mistakes. See, some
No.
people say that's conceit, but see, I'm not conceited because conceit is a fault and I don't have any faults. That's what my grandfather used to say anyway, so I just thought it's humorous. So, all right, I can't multitask. I'm gonna let Yana talk to you guys. I gotta get me and them a link to this real quick. And you guys go right ahead. Yanka, if you want to engage,
Well, good. Okay, thank you, Steve. Let me talk.
yeah, I'm giving you permission. You
Oh,
have now.
thank you.
See, you see how it is. See, the husband is the, shut up.
Head
Steve.
of the woman. So there we go. Thank you.
I have a message about that.
Anyway, I would like to welcome everyone. And I also want to tell you we are here in a new location because our pipes froze and we have no water where we live. So we have to be at my son's place right now. So anyway, so that's why we are kind of rushing and late. We apologize.
She's saying, but let me give you all the real hint. What it is that means I haven't taken a shower. And she's like, keeps doing this, so I get the point, right? Okay, I got it.
All right, Steve. Anyway, so
right.
welcome
Hey,
everybody.
we got Rich Finnegan in the house. Looky there.
Yes, where is he?
He's not here. Just a second, you'll see him in a minute.
Okay. So is Sister Kathy here today? She said she will come. Anybody by name Kathy? Okay.
Is that Kathy there? Right. Let's see.
She wanted to give her testimony, but she did say that she has to get up early morning and she's not sure about the time. So nobody.
Right. I got a joke here later for you guys. You just wait. I got a very good joke.
All right. So anyway, welcome. If Kathy's not here, she was ready to give her testimony with amazing results for her. And it was also depression. So she suffered major depression, anxiety. And just like for me, I was helped with similar symptoms, but I had a post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, which is, accompanied by depression, but it actually has more specific symptoms. But she was a sufferer as well of depression. And today I spoke with her and she was 1 month on X39. I don't know, I think on other patches, I talked to so many of you that it's at this point, I have a difficult time remembering names or who I talk to because so many people that text me and then I call them. So that was an amazing testimony. And I was listening to David Schmidt, which I encourage all of you, if you want to learn about the product, David Schmidt video on every single patch and on X39. He's been interviewed many, many times by doctors as well. And just the way he explains the technology, the way he explains the product, any distributor can give you pretty good information when they took a time to study and to listen. They can learn, they can give you great information, but listening to David Schmidt himself is absolutely must when you are interested in technology, how this product works, and what it does, and you can listen right from the inventor. So I have 2 videos today to drop in a chat. I'll ask Steve to do that because I strongly believe you should take time while you're cooking, while you're doing other activities during the day. Just turn him on and please listen, because you will learn tremendous amount of information. And we have Richard Finnegan in our Zoom. Welcome, Richard.
There he is. We were
Yeah.
trying to work out the technical difficulties here.
Yes, pleasure to
Richard, I
be
don't know
here.
if I'm sure you've been told this before, but you know, when you smile, you look like Arnold when you smile.
Yes. I wanted to say
I
that
have
first
heard
time.
that. It goes back years and years, and it was interesting when I worked for him directly. I worked for him with World Gyms, and occasionally people would think I was related and come in and start speaking German. So it was, or Austrian, I guess I would say Austrian. So it was interesting. Yeah, goes back.
Yeah,
Yes.
very pretty much the same language. We spent a lot of time in Austria when we lived in Prague, so traveling all
Oh,
over
really?
Europe. So yeah, that
Yes.
very interesting.
I have-
Listen, for those of you that do not know Richard, Richard and his wife Mia, I'm sure you guys probably know him already because you guys will watch Israeli News Live. So you probably saw the broadcast that we did with him and Mia the other day. Amazing couple. And you know, I said to the people, Richard, because a little bit, some people had made the comment, they said, well, this is a long infomercial. I said, let me explain something. This technology and this product is so amazing. It should be headline news everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just telling it like it is. I said, and the more and more we keep hearing about the amazing testimonies, and we've got somebody in here tonight, Richard, as well. My wife was telling me that is going to be sharing with us.
I don't think she came.
Oh, she's not made it in yet? Okay, so
No.
I'll be checking emails to see on that. But if you can kind of share some things with the group here, Richard, about yourself as well. Mia, I know your wife, former Olympian, and you were, because most everybody in here, besides myself, is my age or older anyway. I hate to say that, but we're all old folks. But anyway, so they will remember the first season of The Gladiator that you actually played in. And, you know, I remember watching that. I actually went back and was watching the old ones just because of the fact that you were on there, just for fun. Go ahead, please share with us.
Oh yeah, hey, just happy to be here again to share. You know, it's funny, Steve, you said should be, please, you know, just being understanding the state of the entertainment industry and how things work, having had worked in it over the years. You said it's news, but headline news pretty much a pay to play as far as I understand it, you know. And so you know, that being said, we have a wellness technology here that is unlike anything we've seen. We've been in the health and wellness field for over 30 years. And really just trying to help people age better. And we do talk about you know, age, you know, just try and live longer and add quality years. And now with technology and regenerative medicine and regenerative science, we understand that we can reverse some illness states, you know. And so you know, going back, working, as you said, mentioned those kind of opportunities back in the day when we knew we wanted to try and reach a lot of people who need to be educated on health and wellness and how to improve their lives. And so we did a lot of things. Gladiators was one of them. And we've helped bring a lot of good health and wellness products to the market. And so we know what it looks like in the early stages. And this is just an amazing opportunity that we have. When you really look at the data on what these copper peptides do in the body, it's pretty simple. You can, the equation, 1 + 1 + 1 = 10 when you start adding it up, what we can do when we can elevate those peptide levels and the healing mechanism. So it's super exciting, really excited to share with your friends and see what I can do to help educate people. Really, that's really what it is, because it's early. You know, I look at some of the clinical data. you know, it's recently within years that they've isolated or really realized the benefit of this technology. In fact, it was I don't have it on my phone. I'll try and look to comment on it, but one of the institutes at Harvard University and MIT are where they develop some of these technologies that they're really understanding how the body heals, how these healing properties occur. And then so as you folks learn more, I'd love to teach you about it, but we'll talk about it. But basically utilizing the body's heat to trigger mechanisms within our body to heal itself. You know, there's a lot of things we do to heal ourselves. But anyway, that's in a nutshell what it is. So it's just really exciting to share because people just have to get a little understanding about it and then try it. The company knows because it works. So they just there's guarantees, like try it, you know.
Right.
And let me see before I throw it back to you, Steve, we always say in the training field, training client like thousands of clients, and running gyms and studios, performance centers, physical therapy, rehab centers, et cetera, over the years, is we always say, try, just because people who know our background, it's in our circle of influence. And we say, hey, if there's something that we find that's new, we're like, hey, try it because I said to, but keep using it if it works for you, right? And with whatever we bring to the market, and it's always something that we use ourselves, super important, but we just say, hey, try it because we said to, here's our experience, here's our background, and then we'll follow up and let's see, and let's continue it if it gives the results that we think it's going to give. So that's a little bit how we do it. It's pretty simple stuff.
Yes, can you take real quick, Richard, as well? People, you guys, you and Mia run an incredible Zoom class that I call it a class because really it's educational, especially for those that are joining in. That I mean, when we do our Zoom meetings, we tend to get mostly people that are interested in the business aspect, but
Not product.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, so it's kind of like we have both worlds here. We have people that are wanting to know more about the products that is there, and we have people that are interested in the business aspect as well. And you guys do amazing in all those areas. And I want our folks that are here to be able to come, and because I know you guys make it open to everyone, and so that they can really learn, because I was on just the other day with you guys, and I was really so impressed with the way you laid everything out. You had a PowerPoint presentation basically, so you were breaking things down, and it was simplified, and it's not long. You start on time, you end on time. Unlike us, so I won't say that.
Yeah, we're a long way.
Yeah, for some reason, I got too much
Yeah.
air in my lungs, right? So,
Right.
but if you can share that with people, how they would be the easiest way, and we'll make sure we send them the link as well, but so that they can get plugged in and get educated.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, first of all, we really appreciate coming on and sharing. And what we would do is, like on the Sunday night or the Tuesday or Thursday, based on the times, we have 9 o'clock Eastern, and then we do a West Coast one on 8 p.m. is really invite you guys to be the guests, and then say, and you can let everyone know and say, hey, you know, Steve and Jan are going to come on, and then you can communicate that with everybody, and just like we're jumping on as guests for you, and then they can come on, because so in general, that's really how we can communicate, you know, with using these Zooms, using technology, which is phenomenal. But I wanted to share something. Like I said, we've been in the health and wellness field for years and years, and it always starts with the product results. We've brought a lot of things to the market just in the health and wellness, and the products, they have to have a result. And so that's the key, is to learn those testimonials about what's happening for people. And that being said, super dramatic testimonials. I already have 4 artificial joints from being a performance athlete and coach. I need a replacement on my left knee. And to feel the inflammation go down, where I do a little bit of, I call it a wog. It's between a walk and a jog on the beach, just a little bit of a creep along the beach, and I can do it without being in pain. You know, the sleep improvements that we see is dramatic from the beginning for most people who use them. The cognitive function and the improvement, when you start to understand what they do, it helps from a cognitive standpoint. And then you get into people with different, we can't make disease claims, but when we see the reduction of symptoms, my point is this: it makes you feel obligated to share. I have friends who are coming off of rehab situations or post-surgical situations. Like when you know what this does, and when you look at the clinical data, look at National Institute of Health or PubMed and just look up GHKCU copper peptides and what it does. It's part of the research. We teach you that in the webinars, but you feel like I have to call and tell everyone because maybe the one person I know can't benefit, or they would get a benefit without necessarily knowing it, but they may know someone that could have a life-changing benefit. When we see the stories and hear the stories, when we start to understand what this GHK does with our body, so I feel for it. No one wants to be sold to, and someone said, "Oh, it felt like an infomercial," whatever. Well, you never want it to be that way
No.
because we're just
Right.
trying to inform. We always just say, hey, how can we serve people? And this happens to be a great way to do it. So you do feel obligated to tell people, hey, you need to try it. There's a 90-day money back guarantee. And that's the thing with the product standpoint, is that's how we've always grown our businesses so much, is because it starts with those customer bases. And then the customer base just starts to spread. Word of mouth business is the best business in the world. We talked about people who went on mission. When we go on mission, some of the great leaders spreading the gospel. They went out, a friend told a friend, told a friend, told a friend, told a friend. And so bottom
Yes.
line, it has to be a product that people love and people want, that makes a dramatic difference. And thank goodness that's what we have. So it makes it super easy to share. And we try and meet the best worlds, because some people see, in the wellness space, when you look in the world of commerce, so much is sold online. And then in the direct sales industry, some of the greatest products in the world are sold through the direct sales industry.
Exactly.
And so,
Yeah.
and people with products like this, where people need a little bit of education, because we talk about it. The medical world, and listen, we need physicians and doctors and hospitals. We need that medical world. We agree. But there's certain aspects we're learning that there's a downside. Sometimes they just can't help fighting for the profit, and maybe the message isn't getting communicated. So they're not always communicating about prevention. They don't make money from prevention. They make money from a pill. And that's what we call it, the disease care industry. It's really handling the disease care industry. But in the regenerative science space, right? In the regenerative science, they understand there's things we can do from a wellness standpoint that's not drug, it's not invasive, it's not an injection, it's not a stimulant, and that we can heal the body with those type of things, right? So anyway, I'm super
That's
about health and
amazing though,
wellness.
Richard.
Yeah.
That's so amazing to be able to do that. Rodney, I don't know if you are ready. I know, I wanted to quickly, Rodney, I think Rodney's in Australia, and he was sharing in the chat here, I guess an injury that he has been suffering with pain now for 6 years from a head injury actually affecting his shoulder. And he has an amazing testimony to be able to share with us tonight. I'll see when he comes back to the computer, because I can see he's got his camera on. We'll have him share that with us. But
Okay, listen, Richard, I want to kind of address one thing. Some people are very excited. I talked to them today on the phone. I'm constantly, I give people my business phone line because they can text me that they're interested, and if they need any help to walk through, I'm kind of have working hours when I can call them and help them. So one lady told me today she's extremely excited because of her results are amazing. And then the results for her husband are amazing. So she's trying to share. And some people that she would like to help said, well, that's a pyramid scheme. So I want you to assure people, and logically and really with facts, that this is not a pyramid scheme. And before you go into it, Richard, I would like to say that there is a very beautiful article by David Schmidt online, and I can share or text you that article if you need it. But he explains why he chose network marketing for this amazing product.
Yeah.
Now, imagine if that product was in Walmart shelves or Walgreens shelves, and you would go to it and it would say, this is a stem cell activation patch. Who would stand with you and explain you the technology? would any Walmart worker stand there with you and take you by hand and say, this is how it works. It has no side effects. It did this for me. I used it. My husband used it. My mom used it, and they have done amazing stuff for me. How can I help you? And nobody would do that. The product would stand there, and this technology, nobody would know about this. There would be very minimal results. So he wanted people to truly get a hold of this product, and he wanted distributorship because he wanted people to learn about it and have time and take time to literally help others to understand how can they better their lives with this product. So anyway, go ahead, Richard. Can you please talk about that aspect?
Oh yeah, aspect, and that's you know, common belief, and I respect everyone who has it, because someone might have been involved with something that had a negative outcome when they did that. But you just have to evaluate the company from a lot of different standpoints, and the first and foremost being a product that works, and a product that people want, and a product that people would purchase whether they are earning income from that or not, and it's one that someone needs that. And the, you know, Federal Trade Commission and FTC, they really have tightened that world up, so you know, the big thing being in the health and wellness field, first of all, they've really tightened that up. You know, they're really trying to track and monitor, you know, where substantiated claims are made, and what the results and the efficacy and the effectiveness of things. So, you know, sometimes there's too many rules in the world, but there's rules that keep things so that it's safe, and so that it's healthy, and so people getting a, you know, an honest opportunity. And so you know, and what this is, when you with LifeWave, the fact that the products work, and he chose to use the direct sales industry just because everything is modernized now into almost called affiliate marketing, where you just refer it. Hey, if I like it, I refer it. Okay, you can earn a percentage. I like it, I referred it to 100 people, I can earn a small percentage. You know, a lot of times we refer people to movies and restaurants and vacations, and you know, sometimes you can earn a vacation credit or a restaurant credit. It's just how business is done now, because business is social now. And so you can say, hey, I really like, I have this one place we went away on vacation. Like, I don't want to tell everyone because it's such a small little place, but you know, that's how things grow. So that's the first thing, is to really evaluate it. But again, you know, the webinars that we do really help everyone understand that. That's where the education, you can see what it is. So in a nutshell, the direct sales industry is first and foremost sharing products that you use yourself, and you basically help people, right? So, and you can earn a little bit of a retail business, but the beautiful part about it is you can have multiple regions. I was in this sleep industry where I had 220 stores that I trained everyone in. And so it's like having a region or a state. You can create this region or state actually all over the world, because we're in over 100 countries. So it's an opportunity to basically share your retail customers, but then teach other people how to do the same thing. And here's what the big distinction between a legitimate direct sales opportunity and a pyramid scheme is, that the only way you can do well is if you help other people down in the depths of the organization do well. That's the only way. That's how they're designed. So when you help other people succeed, and they maybe make $1 and you make 1 cent, and then someone else makes $1 and you make 1 cent, or you make 2 cents. Well, if you help 200 or 300 or 500 people just because of time, all of a sudden you're making extra income, and it's nickels and dimes at a time. And that's where, you know, it's super important to understand those things. But again, we teach everyone on those type of things. It's product, it starts with the products. Products have to be something, versus like, oh, this pie in the sky opportunity, when the product, would you use the product? Yes, I use the product. That's where it has to start. So I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And also, to me, a true pyramid scheme is a corporation or any kind of business like that. I'll tell you why. Because you have a CEO, owner, whatever, president, and then you have a director, manager, and then you have those people you have to hire. They're literally slaves. They work for minimum wages or whatever. And it's really difficult for those people to get anywhere, you know. So in this industry, if you are signed up under someone, and above you. People don't work, they don't make money,
They
but
don't-
you can
yes,
make money
exactly.
and you are below them. So
Exactly.
this is why this is not a pyramid scheme. And not to mention that this is actually quite amazing. At first, I was having the same thoughts because, you know, a lot of people say that because of bad experiences in the bad
Yep.
companies. But at the same time, I knew that I'm using amazing products like doTERRA or Young Living. I love the essential oils, and I'm actually purchasing or using them, and I love them, and I would not get them anywhere else other than from distributors.
Right.
So I know that there are amazing products with a very legitimate business, but when that changed my life, when that helped me so much, and now I'm continuing to have results in Steve's life and now my daughter's life, she had a TMJ. That was something we didn't talk about yet. I meant to last
Right,
Zoom,
right.
but I never did. It's like a new testimony that came in the last time. She had a major jaw problems, and we were planning on going to doctor, and we were like, wow, how are we going to address that? Because she's really suffering. Well, she studied X39. She's doing EON as well for her stress and anxiety. And the other day, I was in a car with her, and she's like, oh my God, you know how kids are if she's 15. And I was like, what? Do you have a, because she touched her jaw. I'm like, oh, does it hurt, baby? And she's like, no, mom, the opposite. I just realized that I'm moving it freely and I got no pain. Like it's gone. So people are having all kinds of results till today. It never came back. She's not complaining. So we're not going to doctor. So it just helped her. I guess it
Yep.
was stress related, and Eon is very good for stress. It lowers your cortisol level, you know. So the product is just so amazing. It changes so many people. We have Rodney back here, so.
Listen,
good.
yeah, we're gonna get Rodney to give his testimony in 1 second here. And just to add to that, I have both my aunts. One aunt is doing Eon for arthritis. And because she's got a huge swelling in her hand from it. And she put it on the one day. The next day she texted me and she said, Stephen, you're not gonna believe this. I have no pain in the hand and the swelling has gone completely down. And my aunt, who has dementia, asthma, diabetes, she's 72 years old. What else? I mean, the list goes on and on. They're wanting to do surgery on her back again. She was paralyzed from it once before, but she walks again. She now has become more cognitive,
Yeah.
can talk clearly, can carry on the conversation. And she says, Stephen, she said, I can't thank you enough. This has really helped me so amazingly much.
And she appreciates them so much, those patches. She is just so saying, I am having it by my, my nightstand, by my bed, and every morning I'm putting my new patch on, and thank you so much. So when you hear this and you have these type of testimonies from people, how would you not share this? How can you?
Exactly. And the key is too, is that there's a money back guarantee. So that's the key. It's just,
Exactly.
and this is uniquely different than other. This is a simple share. It's like, hey, try this patch. I'll talk to you in a couple days, the money back guarantee. And because the stories are so real, it's not a big, you don't have to do an elaborate presentation. Put a sticker on someone's back or neck,
Right.
and then follow up, which is why we love it. We've been doing weight loss for 30 years too. It's a little bit more of a heavy lift. So, but I know you have your guest Rodney on here. It's looking forward to sharing. Yes.
Yes,
Or hearing.
Rodney, share with us. Tell us, I was reading in the message there. Please tell us what's going on with you.
All right, we went for a trip down to Sydney in the last week, and a good friend of ours, Danny, who's a bricklayer, has had a lot of neck injuries, shoulder injuries after it was basically a big plank of timber fell on his head and shoulder. He's been in a lot of pain over the last 6 years. We turned up and basically said, rightio, try this, man, see how you go. And we got back home and we got a phone call within a couple of days. And he's just so thankful, absolutely amazed about his results. He couldn't hold his hand much up past his shoulder. Now, in front of his wife, he lifted his hand as high as he could, as high as the other hand. And she goes, "Don't you tell the insurance company." Yeah. So as well, he said to me, he goes, "And I'm doing Sudokus, which is like the puzzles that you get in a book to try and keep my mind alive because I'm not working anymore." And yes, he's in his late 50s, early 60s. And he turned around and he goes, "I think I'm doing them faster. I think they're actually I'm actually able to do them better." And I just said to him, "Look, I couldn't tell you everything that I've heard about the product." I said, "But it's a pretty awesome side effect, isn't it?" And he just laughed. He just laughed, you know. So in the end, you go, my wife and I, we've been taking them for probably a week, 2 weeks. Yeah, about a week, week and a half. And we're pretty reasonably healthy. Like, we're farmers and we're reasonably healthy. So we don't have any like massive changes because we don't have any like major issues that we need to overcome. But when you see someone else be affected so greatly by it, you know, it's just awesome that the small amount of knowledge that we've learned about the product and how it works has been beneficial to someone.
Absolutely.
Amazing
Thank you
testimony.
so much, Rodney, for sharing
Thank you,
that with
Rodney.
us.
So appreciate you. And
Congratulations. Those are just great stories. And hey, it's you know, amazing, but then when you start to look at it, like, oh, it's explainable, you know, when you start to see that, it's you know, I think about your friend, you know, that with the incident that they had, you know, would that injury have been as bad if they were 22 or 25 years old, right? You think about that, how we used to recover at that age. And when we find out what these copper peptides, because our peptide levels from age 20 to 60, our copper peptide levels, they just shoot down, they diminish. And then what they're doing is they're correlating disease states with peptide levels. And so this is the correlation with the patch elevating these, and we see things regenerate, tissue regeneration and reduction of inflammation and things like that. So fantastic. Congrats. Well, hey, listen, it's so funny. It's funny you say that. You know, I'm 62 years old. I'm graying, and what you see a lot, and you know, well, let's call it coincidence, but I got extra, and it shows. If you look at GHKCU, it talks about follicle number increases in follicle thickness. Now, we don't make hair claims. We're not making any hair claims, but you see people, first of all, GHKCU, that's what it does. But then you see people who report it. Mine went darker. My hair went darker and thicker. I'm not going to go back till I was 21. I'm still losing, you know, I'm still, you know, my hair is not, it's like it was 10, it's going back to like 5-10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to turn me to 21. But you see that, it's funny, you point to your head, people notice more growth, a little darker coloring and things like that. But you can go and search GHKCU, those peptides, and it's like, oh, it's been used in hair, in the hair, you know, world for years and years.
I thought it was a sign of wisdom.
Well, what, the loss of it or the increase?
Well, you've got to explain it to your kids somehow, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, for men, listen, Richard, for men, hair loss or thinning of the hair has completely different reasons than for women, you know, why it happens for male or female. But for females, I can tell you now, the quality of hair, the thickness, and how quickly it grows, it's totally amazing. Totally amazing. I mean,
we see that a lot. We see it a lot. Yep. And less clumps, less hair coming out in the shower and things like that. Those are all good signs. I'm like, okay, I'm you know, aging like I'm younger. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
Yes. And today I listened to David Schmidt. I always listen. I want to listen to everything twice, 3 times what he says, because it's just he's explaining products, technology, and health in such interesting and the best way. He's the best man to really learn from all of this. And he said that when you are in your early 40s or even 35 or 40, okay, when you turn 40, it's the best thing to get on X39 at that time to prevent all these future, conditions like we have like arthritis and hair fall and all these problems. So just get on X39 so those stem cells are always activated. And you know what he was talking about? It was so interesting. He was talking about hyperbaric chamber, how people use this to activate stem cells. And to buy one, it's $35,000 if you want to own it. So
Yeah.
go ahead for that, right? But then what he said is hyperbaric chamber will activate dormant stem cells, but they are not useful ones. They're not the
Interesting.
useful ones. So he is interested in doing a clinical study, and he was kind of giving a call out if you know anyone, any doctor, any chiropractor who is interested to do clinical study with me with hyperbaric chamber mixed with X39 patch,
Interesting.
because
Yeah.
X39 patch actually activates your youthful stem cells, the ones you had when you were 25, actually. Like it's the youthful ones, and that's amazing to me. So that's what you get when you listen to David. You get all of this information. And that's
Yeah.
why I encourage our people here. When you want to learn, just turn it on while you're cooking, ironing. I don't know how many people are ironing these days, but
Except for the guys, we can't
Guys.
multitask. We got to just look at the video only.
right. Okay. Well, that will work too.
Well, no, that's a great point. Like this is the thing I really appreciate being here because like that's what part of my role is to help you learn where to go find things, right? Here, where to go find the information. And that's why we use the thisisitinfo.com that Elizabeth posted. If people want to learn about it, thisisitinfo.com. And that is really, that's the people in our organization who have created this video that really, it teaches, it has studies, it has clinicals, it has testimonials, and it has patents and the science side of it. If you want to dig through, there's some links, and that's really the best way to go. Now, I, being a science geek, and especially we've been in the industry a long time. I want to find it. I want to do a deeper dive because we don't need to become a scientist in order to know how to share this with our friends. What we need to be good at is pointing people to the webinars and the Zooms that we do. Like we have our webinars on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. If we're good at just having people come into those webinars and looking at that website, that's the way to educate. But you can see right here, you have, there's information and links, right? This is at info. So just to go right to this website, thanks for pulling that up, and just work your way through. And you'll find information. You can see go to the pubmed.gov article, click on that and look through some of the science on that. This is, for me, my science geek mind. This is what I want to look. Regenerative and protective actions of GHK-Cu peptide in the light of new gene data. Like, I'm a researcher. So you can look very quickly. It can be easily confusing. You can look at a little of the abstract. It gives a little background. But if you scroll to that, and you can look at, obviously it mentions potential, other potential conflicts, etc. But you can go down and you can click and see, like where it says keywords, COPD, some of those keywords. You can look any of those up and you're going to get more information. And then generally speaking, within a study, you just want to go to the conclusion or the summary at the end. You guys know that, right? But just maybe some of you guests don't. And Yana, maybe that's something you could share on when you look at article with your biochemistry background. I mean, people don't necessarily know how to read an article. Now, let me just go back though. This is why we don't want to confuse people. Like, don't feel like you need to do that. If you really want to deep dive, it's in that thisisitinfo.com. And when you click on the article, if you want that science, click to the conclusion and you'll see what it produces, and it summarizes it, everything. For example, if I can, and then Jan, I want to hear, like I just looked at this. Like this is one thing I looked up. Up to date established that GHK-Cu is able to, GHK-Cu is this is for tighten loose skin, reverse thin aging, repair protective skin barriers, improve skin firmness, reduce fine lines and depth of wrinkles, smooth rough skin, reduce photo damage, improve overall skin appearance. So this is about the skin properties because there's such a high healing mechanism, and this does what it does is it does it internally within our body too. But again, that this is at info.com has that, or maybe you just want to see testimonials. That's really where we encourage everybody to go because it's easy to get lost in the science. I happen to love it, but most people just need to go to that website.
Right, and you're right, absolutely right. That not everybody's science minded. They just want to know what it does for them.
Yeah.
They want to feel good on it, and that's what they want. They're not really interested going in all these details. Some of us have the different type of mind. You know, we want to know everything. So I am that way. But also, Mr. Schmidt was talking today about X39 renewing your it has ability to regenerate digestive tract, and this is just amazing. And it has very good effect on your heart as well. So you definitely that is something that I would not go without. This is what I call master patch, a must patch yourself before you do any other one. So if I was going to try one patch out of all of them, I will definitely do X39, never miss that one. Now, if finances allow, I would start checking on other ones, the complementary ones, because you can get very beautiful results with them, like glutathione, master antioxidant, and you can use it only twice a week, because it elevates your own body-made glutathione by 300%. That's just unbelievable.
Yes, and then also carnosine.
Oh, that's amazing.
Carnosine is amazing when if you're dealing with cognitive issues and let's say you've got, because there's so many people, Rich, that tell us, for example, they'll say that, you know, look, I've got a loved ones suffering with dementia or Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. And, you know, it's like we always say to them, well, the thing is, what the patch will do, as we already know, it's going to stimulate your copper peptide. It's going to put those stem cells where they need to go. And as a result, your body is doing what it's meant to do. It's going to take and begin to repair itself. We just got a tool to help us get there. But in the case of these issues here, we've noticed that if you include the carnosine patch with it, it really helps in the cognitive area there, helps your body start working on that cognitive side. That seems to give an added benefit to the people that are suffering with those issues as their stem cells are starting to go to work on that. And I'm going to get to these questions here in a moment, but
I think we should ask
we'll go to that
questions while Richard is with us.
well, I
Okay.
do. I want to do that. But Richard, what is your thought on some of those patches there that we're talking about?
Yeah, that you know when you see things like when you look through some of the information, current knowledge, stimulate blood vessels and nerve outgrowth, increases collagen, elastin. So it's doing things at the cellular level, right? They talk about lung connective tissue, bony tissue, liver and stomach. This is GHKCU. So knowing that we have it's super early in this, like you talked about a study, it's like that tells you like that study that you were talking about, they didn't do it yet, like they're going to do it. So that makes me even like tell everyone super fast because we've brought 20 different products to market. I know what it feels like when it's early, when not everyone knows yet. And this is just really ramping up at an incredible pace. So yeah, with glutathione, you know, we talk about glutathione and we just use a chart, which is beautiful that you don't have to become an expert. This is all on our team page that you can, on our Facebook group, that you can, you know, just use this sheet to learn. So when talking about carnosine, protects neurological system, improves bioelectrical properties of organs, and promotes overall health and wellness of the brain and heart muscles, improves cognitive function, prevents mental decline and degeneration. These are the things that we see with this copper peptide. And again, knowing so powerful, that's something that gets me. We mentioned my son the other day. He was ADD, ADHD, and he couldn't always keep things together. And this is what they would, you know, with like Ritalin or those medications, it's really neurological synapses, improving this cognition and a brain function. And we see how older folks decline in cognition, right? Not always, generally unhealthier as people start decline. So knowing that we're improving the cellular regenerative properties of all these functions within the body, it just makes you want to share it with everybody as well. But you hit the nail on the head with the cognitive benefits of that for sure.
Yes, yes. Elizabeth,
great.
let's go to you with your question.
Okay, well, I wanted to point out some other questions that were in the chat, but I also put a link in there for the LifeWave Health YouTube channel. There's a lot of LifeWave videos with David Schmidt with the different patches. That it's a go-to thing that they can go to get answers and learn, when they're not attending a meeting. Like if they can't attend a meeting and they're looking for an answer, I just want to give them that other tool to go and they can share those YouTube videos, send links to their friends. Once they go ahead and they give their testimony of what it's doing for them, they can give them that. And it kind of frees up the distributors to do things that they need to do because they have very busy lives as well. They can't be answering the phone every
Right.
10 minutes.
Elizabeth, that's a great point. And to use technology as much as we can. And there's a lot of really good resources out there. That's incredible. It's great information. People, you want to go there. As far as what you share, though, that we teach you how we have an app that you can use. You can share directly from your app. And then when you send the app, this app tells you when someone watched a video, how much of it they watched. So if you're looking to follow up with your folks, whether they're customers or friends or family members, you can just use that app and it'll show if they've watched it or not. And it tracks that. So that's one of the tools we use. We do look randomly, obviously, and encourage people to go do it. But when we're recommending for new people to go down that pathway, because it takes the confusion out of it, that they know where they can get that. And This Is It Info is a great resource. It's really a lot, and we just try and streamline it as much as possible. I tend to search, PubMed and things like that, and looking for the studies. But Elizabeth, that's great for sharing. And
Rich,
thank
the
you.
other thing is if people are having order problems or billing problems, there's a customer service number that's who they need to contact, because the distributors don't handle the orders directly or the billing. If they have a
Correct.
problem, they should contact customer service.
That's a great point. And they
Because
have a
there's
text
nothing
chat.
that the distributor can do. They don't realize that. I just want to make it known in the meeting.
That is so good. That's so smart. And when you go in onto the corporate site, they have a chat, like text chat. It's automated. They've put a lot of questions in there that most of it can be answered. If not, then you definitely can go to that customer service. And that's great. That's great feedback, Elizabeth, because it's true. A lot of those questions you don't need to be the expert in this. All you want to do is bring people to those meetings and the webinars, and then corporate handles that kind of the service on those questions for us, which makes it a lot easier.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that there. Go ahead. Let's go with our next question there with Rodney. Go ahead.
All right. When I first started up, I got a range of patches. Can I take the X39 and say the patch for giving you a boost of energy at the same time?
Yeah.
If you want to have an extra boost of energy and feel great, yes, for sure.
All right. So do you have to take that on a regular basis though, or is it something that I can use if I'm going to go and do some fencing or some sharing or something like that,
I
just
love
to give me
it. It's great. It's great. Hey, Rodney, there's some days that I'll end up with sometimes 6 patches on, 7 patches, and that's like, it might be clean the garage day or whatever. Like if I know I'm going to go do this and this and this and this, yep, I put my energy patches on. I'll have my A on. It's just more of a kind of a good, clear mental state recovery. Use my X39, my X49. And I might throw a glutathione there, you know, if I'm going to go be super active. So you can, but you don't need to do that every day. I kind of pick and choose on those particular harder days, you know, if you have some type of event, but you could, but it's certainly not necessary. X39 is a fundamental. A lot of people want to match you have X49, X49 as well. But let me go back, Ronnie. It's such a good question too. But in the beginning for people, we really, and Yana said it, we want to keep them on that X39 track. Let's let that body start to repair itself. Let's get those peptides elevated. Let's get our hydration going. And then we know which patch was affecting us, but we can do that for a period of time and then slowly add them in, especially someone going out to, if they're going to share it as a business, we definitely say, don't think you have to go share 20 different patches. We want them X39, X39, X39. And then we've a lot of people in the fitness industry because of the ice wave that really helps relieve right now pain. So we have a lot of fitness people in the gym, you know, with customers or yoga instructors or chiropractors who use ice wave a lot. That's a real easy one to deliver. Massage therapists, we have a lot of massage therapists who use that because people have aches and pains. So that's like a go-to for them. So again, the webinars and the Zooms, you know, the recorded versions to help teach us all that, just so we're not getting confused by a lot of patches.
Right.
And
And I want to say, as what I recommend by my own experience, is that start with X39. Some people, when they start, they're so toxic, you know, from all the toxins. Remember, X39 is going to raise antioxidant levels in your body, and you might have a little Alzheimer reaction or detoxification reaction. It happens in about 10% of people. So, of course, don't start with 4, 5, 6 patches.
right.
Because I did that actually. I had no idea. I wasn't educated properly in the very, very beginning. And I just patched myself with everything. And I ended up with such a strong detox reaction, I had to quickly unpatch
Yeah.
all of them. So yes, start with X39 and then slowly add one by one and like feel out what you need. But now I'm very comfortable. I wear 4 patches today. I'm feeling great, amazing. I am able to do amazing things the entire day and like cooking and just things that I wasn't able to without coffee, you know? So just kind of slowly add the other ones, not all of them at once. But
Right.
yes, with X39, you will find your favorites. I have my favorites. Like, for example, X49, I love that for women about 50 because it builds bone and reverses osteoporosis. And that's by clinical studies. If you look at David Schmidt on X49, listen to everything he has to say because he's bringing out the clinical studies that it builds bone. So that's very important. And of course,
Yep.
it has other benefits. So
Yep, exactly. It brings out a little different compound AH instead of GHK.
Right.
It increases your AHK. It has a slightly different effect within the body. I just would want to say this, Rodney, too. This the good question that was posed because the company was about a $20 million company for 20 years, and then when they released X39, it went up to 400 million. So that's what showed because the difference, you know, we have so many, we can help sleep and we can help glutathione, but then, you know, X39 is the hero product because of what it does at that copper peptide level. It works so well systemically. It's helping so many things. So
any
Excellent.
other questions while we have Richard here?
And by the way, for those of you that are looking right now, Team Synergy, this is the Facebook page that Richard and his wife run. If you want to take and go and join on there as well, want to make sure you see that, especially because they post these amazing,
Testimonies.
yes, everything you can think of on here. The Zoom meetings are on here as well, correct, Richard? Y'all
yeah, they are. And what we use this for is our team page. Once someone enrolls, then this is like they get in the gate and then now we can have our communication because this is business communication. So, and we do a little bit of product, but this is once people get set up and enrolled, then they can request to join, basically mentioning who their upline is. and then they can come in, and it gives us an ability to have some community communication for sure.
Okay. Excellent. So just wanted to make sure you guys saw that Team Synergy
Yeah.
on Facebook.
That's a great, thanks for sharing that. We need to be able to communicate and educate, and using these different technologies makes it so much easier.
Right. And I want to because we will go briefly to a business side also, we need to do separate business meeting. And when we do separate business meeting, keep in mind, it'll be less testimonials, less product, more business. I'm finding out that a lot of our brand partners are now starting to have huge interest in how the business is running. They're sharing the product. They're seeing some money in their back office, and they want to know how this thing works. And there is very, very important things to remember right off. Like, for example, you have to change your legs. You have to watch your legs so you don't have a lot on one and nothing on the other. Okay, so these type of things are very confusing for people in the very beginning. And then what is your first hurdle to get through? Well, you want to get to manager. That's what your first thing is. And what does it mean? You sign up 4 people, minimum silvers, 2 on each leg, and you become a manager.
I have a testimony I got to tell you guys about
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
This is going to be funny. I've been doing online news now for about 14, 15 years. As I was going along, of course, naturally, as you age, things start changing. And one of the first things that happened is when I started going gray in my beard and my mustache, I had all reddish brown. And I was sitting there, I was watching on the camera one day, and as I'm filming and I'm live, and I'm thinking I had snot running down my mustache, right? And I kept looking, and I finally got closer to the camera, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had a gray spot right there, right? Everything else, right? And then, you were talking about your hair color starting to go back, right? And I kept looking in the camera, and I see over here this spot here. And I'm like, what'd I do? Did I end up getting food on my mouth or something? I kept trying to wipe it off. But it's just like when I started going gray. I had that on, and I don't remember which side it was, but it looked like snot coming out my nose, but it's actually the color in my mustache is reversing back like it did when I went gray, the exact same way.
It's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
But understandable at the root level, it's going to come out younger, right? Because we're
Right.
restoring at the cellular level. So the old hair, the old follicle is still going to be gray, but at the root level, that's where we see this slight color. And that just tells me, hey, something's going on here that I want to be involved with. If it's making me revert back, and you see it here. And that's an incredible story, Steve. That is really amazing. And you look at these testimonials, if you want to read through some of these, you can. There's some nice questions here that, Jan, if you want to read through a couple. I know there's someone mentioned, I'm going to just scroll to the bottom real quick. My experience is once you use the X39 for about a month, I no longer needed the ice wave as often. I have a herniated disc and 2 crushed discs. The X39 is what it would help Jana's your PTSD, and I experienced that as well. So to go back to that X39, I could see that if it was reducing your inflammation and the areas that were irritated around that disc and restoring at the cellular level, I could see that you would no longer need that ice wave. The ice wave will block that pain and the right now pain. But I'm so happy to see that. It's hard for me. It's this iPhone, but I'm so happy to see that story. Congratulations. Your body's healing itself at the cellular level. And let me share this real quick and then go to another one. But if there's a plant that is dry, if you spray it, it's not going to repair itself as well as if you water it at the root, right? And think about what we talk about, this coming up through the system and systemically going in and healing at the cellular level. It's restoring at that cellular level through the stem and through the root. And so we know what happens with this increase in these cellular activity. So I'd love to, if you, Jana, do you want to read through some of this testimonials? Or do you
Steve is closer to that part,
Well,
so go
please
ahead.
tell me what all Steve took for digestive issue. I have been on X39 for 3 weeks and it has not helped.
You did
what-
take a longer time.
What
than-
else did you take? Thank you. Okay. Sonia, for me, I was on it for about 3 months already. And it was almost like overnight. Now I would say, and it was X39. I rarely use anything else. I use a
Well, you
little,
use ice
I
wave.
do use ice wave for pain, but when it comes to the digestive issue, I mean, mine was severe, and I would say about 80% is what happened, but I felt like it was overnight. I know it wasn't overnight. And it wasn't that the patch did it, it's just as it stimulated those stem cells, that's where they went to work. They went to work on the digestive issue for me. And, but yeah, it was about 3 months is what it took for me to see that result.
And I want to just add to this, when you are experiencing different types of testimonies and what's happening to your body, there is a health practitioner by name Jill, and I'm not sure what her last name is, but I have her video. So she's explaining, and that's exactly, she's saying very sound science. She's explaining that your stem cells are very intelligent, and they're gonna go first what your body or that what they think is the emergency in your body. You might
Yes.
be on X39 for the reason of back. You say, oh, I want my back fixed in 2 weeks or a month or even 3 months, okay?
Yeah.
But you don't know what's going on in your body, and something might be going on in the liver or heart that would be your emergency or is your emergency. So your stem cells are gonna go there first. They're gonna go repair that. They're gonna concentrate on what your immediate problem is. And then of course, as you activate them, they're going to all organs slowly and tissues and start working on repairment of your body. And don't ever forget that David Schmidt said, you need 1 month for every decade of your life to reactivate all the stem cells your body needs. So if you're 50 years old, you need to wait 5 months, right?
I want to address,
Well-
we have a phone call question, and can it heal autoimmune problems for pituitary that's down? Also, can it brain injury, PTSD, STMS loss? Always remember, the patch doesn't heal. And that's not just even a claim. You have to really think about the science behind it. The patch is not healing. The patch is stimulating
It's a tool.
your own copper peptides, which in turn stimulate the stem cells in your body. And then it's your body that's doing the repair, not the patch. The patch is the tool, the mechanism that's helping you to get going. But in regards to the questions, as far as what are your stem cells going to get working on, PTSD, my wife had complex PTSD after the murder of her father for 2 years. 3 psychologists, multiple other treatments that we had tried. I mean, unbelievable amount of resources to do all this. And I was at wit's ends thinking that she could, I didn't know if she'd ever get help. It was that bad. And when you see someone suffer like that, it's beyond anything you could ever imagine. And so, but yes, in her case there, I put the patch on her thinking that her stem cells would go to work on her back. I had no idea about PTSD or anything like it. I know that she's got spinal issues similar to myself, and
Not as bad.
Yeah.
I don't have that bad of a spinal issues, but I do have
but that was
some,
the reason I
like-
did it, because I was totally clueless about what the X39 would help with. And it was her PTSD was the first thing that we
Yeah,
noticed.
it was totally unexpected, but I was listening to David Schmidt again, of course, and he's explaining why it helps not PTSD, he didn't mention that, but mental health is because it also allows your body to release GABA, and we need that. So the point is that the patch does, it wakes up your own innate healing, and your biochemical reactions in your body starts happening, and body starts producing what it needs. So that's the base. So you just be patient with it. Know that your stem cells are being activated, and know that you're doing amazing thing for your body.
We don't want to be much longer. Can you speak, Richard, about these things?
I wanted to, and I know Elizabeth has her hand too, and so we jump to you after. But yeah, it was really great. I was looking through this post-surgery for over 2 months, have been off opioids and the pains of four. So first of all, congrats on being off the opioids. So congrats on that. I would suggest for the constant pain, Ice Wave would be what I would try. There's a clock method. You can learn how to do that, and we can help you in one of the meetings, etc. But Ice Wave for that. And then what about osteoarthritis and rheumatoid? And then the next one talks about autoimmune dysfunction. So super excited to share about this because number one is we can't make medical claims. This is a general wellness device. We don't want to be considered a medical device. It's a whole set of different requirements. So as a general wellness device, like Steve said so well, is that we're not the healing mechanism, but we're what elevates that copper peptide level, and then that does the work.
Right.
And so this is real important. So as far as autoimmune dysfunction, we don't cure autoimmune dysfunction, but when you elevate your when you elevate your copper peptide levels, it has these healing mechanisms. We see a lot of people with those type of dysfunctions, reducing inflammation, reducing pain, just feeling overall, everything related to all these different rheumatoid arthritis, being able to close their hands. Now, we're not going to make any guarantee. We're not going to say every single person, but we see dramatic, like life-changing improvements. So this is where I say, hey, just try them, just just try them. You have 90 days to try it. And as Yana said, David mentions 1 month for 10 years of life, but I'm telling you, most people are going to see some type of results right out of the gate within 3 months, sometimes within a day or two. Like most people across the board, even healthy, like Rodney, the same thing. Like we're pretty healthy people, right? We try to be healthy. I'm 62 years old. I'm trying to stay healthy. So you're not going to see that. If I don't have any major issue, then you're not going to see that change. But I see sleep improvement right out of the gate. Cognitive function right out of the gate. I think most people have inflammation issues. You see that right out of the gate. Your energy, your stamina, your recovery, those things out of the gate. But man, I'm so excited for what this can do for people with autoimmune issues, because it can help, again, not the disease, but the symptoms of the disease. Autoimmune basically is attacking your own body. Yeah. And what this does is helps your body heal itself, instead of it being almost cannibalizing on its own cells, creating all this inflammatory issues. There's a lot on that you can research. So I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me share on that. Did you want to go to Elizabeth real quick? Did you have a question?
We're gonna take her.
No, we don't want to do Elizabeth.
We're gonna take a question, but there is something I wanted to say. A lot of people have a reduction in pain, meaning that they suffer their life every single day with a pain number 9 and 10. So that's how they lived. And they had 4 or 5 hydrocodones a day within 24 hours. And the reports of some of you are saying to me on text messages and in emails that my pain is down to number 2. And for me, or 3. And for me, it's like no pain, because I was used to pain number 9 and 10 my whole life. So now I have a pain number 3 and I'm down to 1 hydrocodone a day. So can you imagine that kind of life change?
Right.
Even if it's not 100%, do you know what that means? Do you know what hydrocodone does to your liver and to your body? Just look up the side effects.
Yes.
So these are the types of things that we are getting as far as testimonies. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Yeah, somebody in the chat had a question about whether or not it would help myocarditis.
Okay.
Yeah,
cardiovascular.
Okay, yes. What I want to say about this again, we don't want to cause trouble for David Schmidt, okay? We cannot say particular diagnosis and a patch is going to heal that. This is not what we're going to ever claim. What we can say again, that there is a lot of people with cardiovascular issues, when they are on a patch, their body starts healing from within, and they're having reduction of symptoms or resolving of their symptoms. That's
if you take one thing I can just say that might help you guys out when you're doing the research, just take and put what you're looking for, LifeWave X39 testimony. So if you're interested in the product and you're wondering, mom has got Parkinson's. I wonder if anybody's had any positive results after being on X39. Put in Parkinson's. LifeWave X39 testimonies, and you're going to find a lot of things out there. Now, if you're already involved in the company, in your back office under resources, you can go in there and you can look at the clinical studies, and you can get an idea, engage an idea from the different clinical studies by reading through those as well. And I really encourage you to do that because there's a ocean of information.
And plus X49 is renewing the whole cardiovascular system within
That's in the
with-
study.
within 6 months. That's on actual information in clinical study. So,
Exactly.
right. So those are the
That's a
things
key. I'm
that-
glad you pointed to that study because you just have to start putting two and two together. You see
Right.
this
Oh,
and
sorry,
you
Rich.
look at nerve outgrowth, you look at all the, and then it's like all again, it comes down to if someone's suffering from that, I would say just try it. And then I'm going to be super surprised if you don't see improvement and reduction in symptoms. And that's a great point that you make. That cardiovascular study was super powerful. One of the first studies I heard, and I'm like, wait a sec, what's going on here? And then I started to do more of a deep dive. Thanks for sharing
And
that.
today, when I was listening to David Schmidt, he's actually naming on some of the videos the names of doctors and scientists and actual hospitals and universities that he's involved with. And they are like one in Ireland. Okay, the university is doing regenerative medicine studies, and he is involved with them and they're doing and performing clinical studies, and they're proving with blood tests, urine tests, and other tests, biofeedback machine, and they're proving that 95 to 97% of people, and sometimes 100%, are responding. So this is like amazing if you really want to go deeper into it, if you're interested. Main thing is this is not some sort of fly-by-night thing and product, and this is a serious thing that David Schmidt is doing. This is real. This is really
Yeah.
happening.
I was just gonna
So-
say, that's another thing that it would be good to look up besides the back office. Just look up David Schmidt by name, LifeWave, and look up videos that he's done. He really does a wonderful job in sharing the science without going too deep into it. That blows
Sometimes he
people
goes
away.
deep. Sometimes he does go
Yeah.
deep, and he does say this is not really for distributors needed to go that
Yeah.
deep. Some people get really lost in such depth, Not everybody's got scientific mind. All they want to know, does it work? So
Well, we
Yeah,
wanna-
exactly. And he has so many regenerative specialists who've been using it for years and years, and practitioners. And the fact that we get to do this alongside them, it's really telling about
Yes.
what it is, and the
Exactly.
success. And Steve, at some point, I want to encourage folks, however you want to communicate that through chat. You may have some distributors on here. Those distributors, if they have guests on here, if they're brand partners, they should have their people go to them, right? Follow up with
Yes.
the person who, go to the dance with who brung you, right? But at some point, however you want to communicate to you guys, maybe directly, they can put something in chat, or you can follow up afterwards so that they can look through your websites so that they can start to learn a little bit more about it. And then we're here. We have a sequence of meetings through the week, so we can always answer questions as you go. But it's really good to see all these questions and this one quick question about 12 hours on, 12 hours off. That was what the study was with the original studies on X39, and that's the protocol. But if you leave it on overnight, it's not an issue. If you forget to take it one day, what we'll see if someone has a chronic issue, after a couple days, they're going to notice that difference. And some people say, hey, I wasn't sure, but then I wasn't using it, and their old symptoms seem to show up a little bit. But yeah, so 12 on, 20, that was your testimony, 12 on, 12. And the reason why he explains just that giving your body, because it's regenerating, and then you want to recover. Like I think because it's stimulating your system, then when we get better from like in the performance coaching field, we want to force adaptation is what we do in sports. to recover and get stronger. So I think in essence, it's doing that. It's stimulating the body. It's it's causing a recovery technique, and then let's let it heal and get the benefits of the recovery. That's how I understand that. But
Right.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
consistency,
Exactly.
and truly it takes 21 days, Richard, it's proven in psychology. It takes 21 days to learn a new habit. Did you know
Right.
that? So a lot of people will forget in the beginning, like they will go 2
Yeah.
days, 3 days, forget. Oh my goodness, I
Yeah.
forgot. Now, just remember, if you're not doing it consistently, it's
Right.
just like any other supplement. I recommended a lot of supplements to people. If you're not consistent, don't expect results.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, listen, we're gonna start
Exactly.
wrapping things up here, but so we don't keep you guys too long.
know.
Hey, Steve,
Elizabeth,
I
yes.
I have a question really quick. That team synergy group on Facebook, do you have to be uh, a distributor or on the business side to be in that group?
It's geared towards business builders. So customers, customers come in and they're getting a lot of business questions. They want to get their customer questions answered directly from the team or customer service, or we do some product trainings as well during the week, but it is geared towards, that's really for people who are already enrolled. In the future, will we do something different? But you know how it is, you can have too many Facebook groups you're trying to manage, or people don't always want to jump into new groups unless it's really gonna serve them well. So we keep that narrow for the business partners. That's a great question, Elizabeth. Thank you for bringing
And
that up.
also, Steve, there's one other question in chat that needs to be answered.
Yeah, I already saw that one there. Will you always be dependent on the patch, and can you ever get off of it? And of course, the answer is sure you can get off of it, and no, you don't have to always be dependent on it. One reason why, though, you'll see a lot of people that'll say, Shannon is Todd's wife, likes to say, I'm never going off of X39.
I
I'm a
am
60.
not. I'm not
Yeah,
going off of
yeah, I'm not going off of them because I'm a 62-year-old person with some joint issues, orthopedic issues, and I'm working occasionally. Listen, I used to get up 4 times a night. I wake up 1 time a night. You
Right.
just, if I want to keep that going, do you know what I mean? And so
Right.
I know if I go off them, I kind of feel like this feels like I felt before I had the patches, like always monitor, like really gingerly about my joints and things like that. So to answer the question, if you're getting that positive effect, you want to continue doing that, restoring your body, then I say yes. It
Yes.
just helps with your aging process.
And I would say this, I'm sorry, Steve, but I want to tell you this. Why are we aging? What's happening in our bodies? Well, not only we are losing, our stem cells are deactivated, but we are bombarded by free radicals and poisons. Remember, our food is poisoned, our air is poisoned, our water is poisoned, and no matter what, you are constantly being bombarded. So your renewal has to happen all the time. And I was doing study the other day how free radicals can destroy your stem cells. So yeah, you can go off of it and at least do some, after maybe a year, do some keep up. Like you say, like I'm doing 3 months keep up.
Let me throw a thought
But
in.
why would you? Like when you go to doctor, would you ever go off of vitamin C, or would you go ever off of, doctor tells you usually, right? You're gonna have to be on the heart medication for your whole life, right? Okay, well, I don't want to be on that. It has side effects.
Let me
but
throw
go
something
ahead.
real quick before
Yeah.
we close here. Keep in mind like this, when your body stem cells are being activated, and let's say you get the repair of whatever's going on in your body done, and your body's fixed that issue, and you say, okay, I want to stop. That's great. But think about it like this here. You know that when you're a child growing up until say the age of 25, 30, your stem cells are at their peak performance. So every time you fall down, skin yourself, whatever the case is, you heal rapidly because the stem cells are activated. In that regards, I think that goes back to what Rich was saying here just a moment ago. Why do I want to go back and start feeling the way I did before? In that case there, I'm like Rich, 60 years old, I want to be able to take and know that those stem cells are activated like I was when I was a kid. So when I do fall down, kind of like I'm not like the Weeble, I wobble, I do fall down, and so when I do, I want to know that it's not going to stay all broke up for a long time. I want that quick recovery rate. I want my stem cells to be activated to do that quick recovery rate and not be like the old guys that fall down that flip and die out because they fell down.
So just to kind of give it a factual thing, you might feel great when you stop and you've been reactivated, like let's say for a year, and you feel great and you want to just stop because of finances or whatever. You might feel good for some time, and then because of toxins and because of aging process sets in, and because of free radicals are going to start destroying your stem cells again, you will slowly go into decline. Aging will happen. So what you want to do is keep that going, right? So this is a tough question, but I personally, I am not going off the patch. That's something I'm gonna do until I see another new technology that's even better, you know.
And I did want to share this, Jan. I appreciate you sharing that too. Once you're on it, you feel good, you want to keep on it, but that's just everyone's personal choice. But if you feel good, the way this company is so modernized, people on a regular basis, if they're using it on a regular basis, you in essence have yours for free. And so if someone comes in, hey, even if they have a budgetary need, we'll say, hey, here's where you want to start, but how are your results? Your results are what's gonna, your friends would want to use it. You share it with a handful of people, and then, like I said, it's almost like they're paid for. And we can show you how to do that. So if anyone's there, don't let finances be an issue. Once you get rolling, we'll show you how to do it.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
And then you
will
can take it to wherever you want, to any level they want. You know, you go to the work, but there's so many levels that people get involved, just customer or in the business side.
Yes, and that's true, and that's something we need a special meeting for, just business side. When you come for that meeting next time, just know we're not gonna talk testimonies, we're gonna talk business. I had actually calls today, brand partners that signed up, they're using product now for about 4, 5, 6 weeks. And they're like, look, I want to do this as business. I need to learn as much as I can. So we're gonna have to have that type
Our
of
next meeting
meeting.
will be exactly
Right.
on the business
Yeah.
aspect, because
Yeah,
people.
and you can plug people right in, and we'd love to, you set that up, and then we just bring you in, and we bring you on to a meeting that's established on a time frame, and your folks come in and they can learn. And that's really the way we talked about that last week. It makes it, because there's so many people coming on and they need to learn about it. So those meetings are the way to do it, that's for sure. And it's the way it started with us, with Shannon. My wife shared with Shannon, she has fibromyalgia, she's having symptoms of that. And Mia's helped over the years. We were good friends and we consult back and forth. And she said, hey, try this. I think this is going to help you. And before she even was enrolled in the business side of it, she shared it with a group of women in a Bible study, and they were like, I want to hear more about it. And she called us back. She's like, you know what? We need to reevaluate what we're doing, but because people need help. They want to feel better. They want to look better. They want to have more energy. They want to sleep better. They want their joints to feel better. And we've got a nice solution for them. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Richard, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Give
Yes.
Mia our best. And you guys will be over on John Moore's show Tuesday morning. Ooh, you got to get up early.
Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. What are we, 5 a.m. on that one? 8 Eastern?
I think it's 8 Eastern.
Easy
Exactly
breezy.
right. 8 Eastern on Tuesday morning.
Easy breezy. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to that.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in tonight. If you want to be able to see this video later, it is being recorded, so it'll be on our YouTube channel, Benoon X39 YouTube. And we'll post that also on our Facebook page and share it in our news broadcast just so you guys can find it easier.
And I just want to really quick, if anybody is here, we are doing things extremely ethically in this business, okay? If you are here because you heard it from your own distributor that
Yes.
under us, we have those ladies and gentlemen now that are
Yes.
sharing the product and they're sending to Zoom their people that they're sharing it with. Please, if you're not signed up yet, I truly need you to go after your own distributor. Okay, our brand partners that we signed up. So you can come to me with questions, but I will make sure, and from now on, when you call me or text me, I will ask you who recommended you, okay? So
yep.
that's very important to me in this business, because I want to make sure that my brand partners who are taking the time to
Yes.
share with others, that they get benefit from it. And also my phone number, if you are hearing it from Steve and Yana, from us, of course, text me, or if you have any questions. And the thing is, I'm not going to answer right away. Sometimes I surprise you, I do, but the same day, I will text you back, and I will make sure that we either have appointment or that your questions are resolved. Okay. So here we go. This is the number, and only by text. Please don't call me. I won't pick up. Only by text, and the phone call has to be scheduled. So here we go. 1-321-305-2991. And you can just text, hello, I'm interested in X39. And then I'll text you what's your name. Okay. And this is the time that I can do it. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's really great. Like we always say, reach out to the person that sent you, right?
Yeah.
Follow up with them, and then they'll bring you back, introduce you. We do private Zooms, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 8, 10, 15 people.
Yes.
If you get a group of people together, we realize it's just a step process, little information, education. And so that's great. You have your text information there, or reach out to the person and then plug into it. It's really a good system so you can learn and educate. My parents come from an education background, and I've always been a health and wellness coach for years. So we know we have to raise the awareness, and then people understand better. It just helps them out so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And it's good too. Thank you, Rodney, for letting me know it's a good time for Australia, the time we're on right now. That's great as well.
Okay.
No.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed evening, and we will see you again. I don't know, maybe
Wednesday? Maybe
Wednesday. So
Wednesday, yes.
we'll figure it out for sure.
Bye,
and get it all
Mr.
together.
Rodney. Bye.
It was a pleasure meeting everyone. Look forward to helping you along the way. If you have further questions, we'll be connected up for sure. And looking forward to helping you in whatever your needs may be. Super just blessed to be here helping you all.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much, Richard.